Hey, lots of bots here, and today I'm doing a review of John Anthony's Signal service. And the funny thing is about it, I think that I would like to do a commercial for this, and here's how it would go. Are you tired of being fucked by some Israeli broker pretending to be a white Caucasian from America? Well, if you are, we're ready to take the fuck out of you and put the fuck into them. Because here at John Anthony Signals, not only do we give you a winning signal rate, we also make sure to give you an anonymous way to enter your signals yourself and never be detected by any of these screwball brokers. So, next time you think binary option signals, think John Anthony and put the fuck back into them because they need it. So that's how I view it. For knobs starting out for $100 a month, they can get a professional trader to give them signals that can burn all these different spot option based brokers from Israel. I mean, it cracks me up. I love it. So I recommend it. And I don't think you'll hit 70% like he advertises, but I know you'll be in the 60s. And that's enough for most people. And, being that they're knobs, to be able to do that is just amazing. So I know it's going to be driving these brokers nuts. But anyway, he allowed me to use his service for a few weeks. That was nice of him to test it out and to do this review. So here are some of the trades, and you can view them and tell me what you think. Now, the first thing that I look for in a signal service is that there's logic to his trading. It's not some kind of bullshit scam like Michael Freeman's Auto Trader. And right away, here goes a signal that he had on the dollar across the Swiss. And right away, I can see he's trading above resistance at an extreme, and that tells me that this is a real trader right there. And from there, the finesse of his entries and timing, is what I would look for next. And for me to be able to reproduce them from the logic that I see statistically. And I was able to do that. And, he's a real trader. Okay. That's what stuck out to me right away. And my guess is he has some kind of bank trading experience just from the timing that he uses. Now, I didn't like a lot of his trades, so I used my algos to take his trades for different expiries. I might take mine for 2 minutes to 5 minutes to whatever. Usually I traded them on a shorter time frame than he did, and I wound up doing better and actually having more trades than what he produced. But his signals that he generated gave me, I looked at him like an indicator, and I was actually able to do better than him just by using my own methodologies and algorithms to trade. And I like the fact that he generated signals and then I traded them, in my opinion, the correct way. But let's go over and take a look at some of his trades and see how they work and see how good they are. There's probably going to be a signal soon. Let's note the time, 23:51. And it's probably going to be on the UJ. Let's see. Maybe the euro. Big spike right here. Boom. Here goes the signal. CAD chef. Alright. Let's go back to the chart. We note the time that the signal was just a few seconds ago. Alright, and let's take a look at the logic of this trade. Now, right away on the CAD cross the Swissy is what it really is. I always call it chef. I don't know why. It just looks like chef. I'm expecting the chef from South Park to pop up. But anyway, we see there's a divergence from just around 20 and above, 19 really, all the way up to here. And if we look at the different, let me see. All right, is there? Let's draw it up here. Let's draw this all the way up there. There's the divergence point where the energy was lost as it went higher, and it's traded back to that that point, right? So it's gone over and it's been attracted back down, hit terminal velocity, and it's going into the hour, at the end of the hour. This guy has got to have bank trading experience because the way he trades is very much, look at this, he traded from above the high. That was one point right there, and all the candle closes that we see right there. This was just a solid trade. This guy has to be a bank trader. That's the thing that keeps popping up in my head, is the way he trades. He must have worked for, what do they call it, the city on the street, or the banking. And there you go, there's the close of it right there, and just makes sense. Beautiful trade. I like his trading logic, and he's a good trader, period. You know, what he uses here for $100 a month, you can't go wrong, in my opinion. You know, I like his trading methodology. I like the crazy pairs that he trades, too. I generally only stick to the majors myself, so that gives me a whole bunch of ideas to actually trade, you know, diverse pairs to make extra money. The one thing I noticed, he doesn't trade gold, and I had a lot of good trades on gold that I would have thought he would have tripped as well, but nope, no trades on gold. And that again tells me he's probably a bank background of, you know, currency trading experience, because he doesn't touch gold. I thought that was interesting. Again, $100 a month. I mean, knobs are going to be burning these Israeli brokers who use all this spot option pairs, and they're going to be being driven nuts. I can just picture it, which cracks me up, honestly. Solid trading, and let's go on to some other trades and see how he does.
Anthony gets a signal soon, and let's look at the pair that's likely to do that. The euro right here. See this spike down on the extreme? This will probably go over, and he's going to trip his signals on the 15-minute as well as on the 5 on the deviation. And I'm pretty sure I understand his methodology to know that that would be likely. I should just leave it on the screen. Oh, there we go. And let's go back to the chart. See how far outside of the curve it is? That's very significant. See this point up here? These are the previous low points. It's probably going to be attracted back to that level. Alrighty.
Now this trade right here, I traded his expiry for the end of the hour. As well, I traded 45 after because I had it going up till 47 after. And then I hedged from 47 after, which is right there, back till the end of the hour, the trade above 96, I think it was. And I wound up winning all of the trades, 3 of them, compared to just having taken his, which would have been just one single trade for the end of the hour, which was a good solid trade. But I was able to use his signals to generate a bunch of trades of my own by matching them up with my algos, which I depend on for trades. So I used his logic, you know, as an indicator, and traded it myself with my own style and methods. Again, solid trader. You know, he can throw me different pairs and I can trade them in the way that I like. I mean, you can't go wrong with this, in my opinion. But he's a good trader, and again, let's go on to the next trade and we'll see how that winds up. And you can see right here he won the trade and whatnot, and good trade. Okay, next one. And here goes a trade that I did live with John Anthony while I was talking to him. And he lost this trade. It was still a good trade. I told him technically it was a good setup. It's just his timing was a bit off. And this is where my algorithms helped me. I took the first expiry where he entered around 61, I think he had, and I entered around 60. But I only took it for 2 minutes on the first shot, which is the first triangle. And after that expiry, I won that trade, and then I waited till it hit that point right there on the top. That is 0.5. So it went down for about 3 minutes, and then it went back up for 3 minutes. And then on that third minute, bam, there's structure, there's my algos between the time right there and winning trade. So I was able to avert the loss that he had and turn it into 2 wins. The problem I had with his trading was I can't tell which pair he's going to trade. Here I had a trade on the AJ that I thought for sure he would have traded, and sometimes I would get his pair that he would trade, but often he would trade something totally different. This was the best trade in my opinion, the AJ. And what he wound up happening to do is I waited over here for the signal, and then bam, the signal should come. I'm waiting for it on the AJ, and bam, he pops up the GJ. I'm like, what? The signal was a little late. It was about 50 seconds afterwards, and he decides to trade the GJ, and I'm like, the dragon, that's the dragon, the guppy, the widowmaker is what we call that pair. How the hell is he going to trade that? So I wouldn't recommend trading the GJ, so I passed on trading that pair. But, you know, like a minute or so later, I waited, and boom, sure enough, the AJ that I was looking for pops up at 2 after. Now his signal was only about 20 something seconds on that one, on the AJ and the UJ. And he also took another trade on the GJ, again, at the better price. But that was not my kind of trade. The GJ moves very fast and is very volatile, so I don't think statistically many people will do well with it. I did like the AJ trade much better, and if we go out and we look at his signals, you know, he did eventually trade the UJ and the AJ along with the GJ. I don't know why he started with the GJ, but that's his own thing. That's cool. You know, again, the logic for the trades, what I care about, and when am I able to see the moves and rationalize it, and I could. I can understand what his basis was. I just thought the AJ was the cream of the crop on all the trades that you had right there, and it was. Now to wrap this up, you know, I will give my nod to this and say it's worth $100 a month. For what you get. It's not perfect. A lot of signals are generated on the highs, and they could be 20 seconds to over a minute out after, you know, you will get them after they've been generated. So you might not get the best entries, and you might not get the same results as John Anthony. It's unlikely you will. I don't even think he gets the same results. I think he's probably in the 60 percentile range too as far as wins go. So that's what you should expect, especially if you're a knob, because you're more likely to do retarded things or not trade all the time. You can't trade all the time. Nobody can. But if you use the signals, I think you'll be in the 60% range, and I think you'll be profitable. And that alone, it makes it worthwhile to use. And that alone is why I think it's going to drive the brokers nuts. So it'll be interesting to see if there's any issues with that in the future. But anyway, I give it my recommendation. I hope you liked my review, and I'll see you again next time.